Yes, I think it's working as usual. Hello, good morning. While I wait a little bit to see if somebody from the beautiful community of English Tips is going to connect, a short introduction, because I notice that there are people watching these videos that are not in the community, so they might know who actually I am. So Novella is my name. I'm an English teacher, an English coach. I'm a certified coach with ICF, the International Coaching Federation. And yes, I help people speaking English, especially or mainly actually Italian mother tongue speakers. And the topic of today's free English class is going to. So English, there are different ways of expressing the future, the idea of future in general. In Italian, it's slightly easier because you can use the present tense, domani vado al cinema, or you can use a simple future, domani andrò al cinema. Yes, those are the mainly, sometimes we have a futuro anteriore, sarò andato al cinema, but yes, you use it very seldomly, to be honest, to be fairly honest. Well, in English, you have really a variety of ways to express future tenses. So you can use the present simple, you can use the present continuous, you have the future simple with will. Then you have the future perfect, will have gone, the future, what was its name? I will be going, the future continuous or progressive. Every time there's an ink form in English, it's always continuous or progressive. That's what the ink form stands for. Yes, so, and last but not least, they have going to, of course, which is what we are going to speak today. So if you have an English book with you, I don't know, for example, in my English classes, I often use the English file. You will see that in these kind of course books, a lot of time when they have to deal with going to tense, they use a topic related to traveling. Okay, so where are you going to go on holidays, for example? That's a classical question. And that is because normally you use going to when you have a plan, when you're planning something. So, of course, not all of us enjoy planning everything during holidays. There are lots of people that just, go with the flow and just leave it as it is. But in any case, you need to do some planning before going, at very least, you need to ask for holidays to your employer, for example. Or you need to plan in advance if you're self-employed, as I am. You need to figure out with your customers how to manage this timing of the year. So every time there is a planning included, you use going to, okay? For example, and this is true for holiday, but also for other topics, of course. They just use the holiday topics because it's very broad and it's very interesting also from a vocabulary point of view. So, for example, if I want to say, Anna ed io andremo al cinema domani, going to the cinema. By the way, cinema, British English, movie theatre, American English. So going to the cinema is a plan because I need to call you, and then we need to plan on which show to watch, what time, and so on. So Anna and I are going to the cinema tomorrow. So it's a plan. It's a plan, and it's, let's say that for English people, it's quite important how likely it is to this action to happen in the future. So if I'm fairly sure that this action is going to take place, is going to happen, you use going to. So yes, Anna and I are going to the cinema. David just finished high school, but he is not going to go to university this fall. He's going to look for a job and save some money to travel the world. I don't know, whatever. So David is finishing the high school, that's for sure, and he has decided not to go to university. So he's not going to go. By the way, you always need to repeat the verb to go, even if it's kind of repetition, it doesn't sound so right, but it's okay. You repeat go all the time. You're going to go, she's going to go, and so on. Yes, in this case, you already notice the negative part. I am going to, David is not going to go to university. Okay. What about the interrogative form? How do you ask questions with going to? Of course, it doesn't change much compared to other tenses. Basically, all you have to do is remember to hello Julia, welcome. Sorry, it just started. Yes. Negative form, interrogative form, yes. Every time you ask a question in English, you need to invert. So if the sentence is, I am going to go to the cinema, you ask, are you going to go to the cinema? Okay? Of course, you always need to pay special attention to the verb to be, okay? Because that's the one that changes. Normally, you always have the subject, the verb to be, which of course it changes. So I am, you are, he, she, it, is, and so on. Going, and then the infinitive form. Of course, you can use the contractions. English is a very, how can you say, kind of an economic language, really. You really need, especially in the speaking part, they use a lot of contractions. So he's going to go, she's going to go, she isn't going to go, they aren't going to play tennis. Yeah, of course, I forgot that there's also the negative form in the question. Aren't they going to play tennis? Non giocheranno a tennis. Yes, so be extra careful about the verb to be, because that's the one that changes all the time. All the other tenses remain the same. And when it comes to contraction, one question that I'm often asked in my English courses, it's about the use of gonna. You know, that's what American English, to be honest, gonna, wanna, gotta. But gonna, it's actually quite used also in British English. I have a number of British friends that use it all the time. And gonna, it's the short version of going to. Okay, so I don't know. After this class online, I'm gonna, what's the time, 11 o'clock, it's a bit early, but I'm gonna eat lunch. I'm gonna go to the supermarket. I'm gonna read a book. He's gonna change his mind. You use gonna every time you want to make it shorter, but it's quite nice. I also use it sometimes, but just because we are not native speakers, so for us it's a bit difficult to understand in which context we can use one or the other form. So please be aware that forms contractions and gonna, wanna, gotta, which by the way, gonna, going to, wanna, want to, gotta, got to. Please be aware that these are extremely colloquial sentences or ways of speaking. So if you are studying for, I don't know, you want to get a certification of English of whatever level, really, you don't want to use them, really. You don't. Maybe in the speaking part it could be okay, kind of, but definitely not in the writing part. Okay, so even though actually, because it's for sure, you hear them a lot in the films, in movies, in music, they use it a lot. Never use gonna in a writing essay for an exam or in any kind of formal occasion, formal event. So we said you use going to when you're fairly sure that something is going to happen, and you are fairly sure that something is going to happen when you plan. But not only when you plan, you're also quite sure about something that is going to happen because you can make a deduction, a simple deduction. A super classical evergreen example that you can find in every single course book, it's when you normally you have drawings, but yes, you look out of the window, you see there are some black clouds, and you say, it's going to rain. It's going to rain because, yes, black clouds, we're in summer, so it's not going to snow, obviously, but yes, it's going to rain. Julia is saying that Trump uses gonna. Yes. Trump uses a lot of funny things. By the way, well, I'm a language nerd, so I read a lot of kind of language gossipy things. Did you know Trump is, I don't want to be unpolite, but not a desperate case for interpreters and translators, but almost, because he tends not to finish sentences. And it's true, if you watch a video of Trump speaking of whatever, he tends to leave the ending open so you can kind of fill it in with whatever you want to. But when you translate, you need to have a beginning, middle, end, so you can finish the sentence because you don't know what the person wants to translate. So yeah, so Trump uses gonna. Trump does a lot of funny things with languages. I don't want to enter the political discussion, but go online, search on YouTube, forget about the contents. I don't care about the contents, but listen to the English. It's quite interesting. It's quite interesting to have a check on how politicians use language. Yes. Thank you for the for the input, Julia. So yes, we were speaking about the deduction that we make. So we spoke about black clouds, it's going to rain. You can also say, I think it's an example I posted. Of course, this lesson I forgot to mention before. We have it now together, but then I will post it on the first comment. It will be the link to my website with the written part, so you can also download the PDF with the written part. And you don't have to take too much notes as I'm speaking. Yes, another example could be, I don't know, this is very, yes, in this period of, in this time of days and age, but yes, like you're feeling terrible, like you have headache, you have stomachache, and like, I feel terrible today, I think I'm going to be sick tomorrow. Yes. Are you sure you're going to be sick? Are you sure 100%? No, you're not sure 100%, like you're not sure 100% that it's going to be raining. But since you're feeling terrible and since you see black clouds in the sky, you're reasonably sure, I would say 90% sure, you are gonna get sick and it is gonna rain. Okay? So yes, so this is the most important two cases where you use going to for deduction that you're pretty much sure about, and when you make plans about something. Now, in Italian, this is often it has always been translated as futuro intenzionale. It means that sometimes it depends how you speak English, really, but sometimes I have students that tell me that they think in Italian and then they translate into English. Okay, thank you, Julia. That's a nice question. The question reads, are there special cases in which we have to use going to instead of the ing form? So the ing form, so you mean the present continuous, I suppose, is used for arrangements, especially. I don't know, I'm meeting my boss tomorrow. That's an arrangement. And since it's about to work, it's like 100% sure you are going to meet him tomorrow. Yes, normally it's for arrangement, the informal. Well, for example, I don't know, I mentioned before that you use also the simple present. The simple present is mostly used for schedules. The train leaves at 10 o'clock. It's in the future, okay, but it's scheduled, so it leaves. So like in Italian, il treno parte alle 10 di domani mattina. It's the same. Yes. Let's see here. I need to scroll down. Okay. Yeah, so I was saying that going to is also called futuro intenzionale, because if you translate from Italian into English in your head, you can often translate going to with avere l'intenzione di, no? Ma ho intenzione di andare in vacanza, ho intenzione di fare questo, ho intenzione di, che ne so, cucinarmi una spaghettata. Okay, well, every time you say this in Italian, it's in the present, but if you think about it, it refers to an action in the future. So, okay, it's, yeah, futuro intenzionale. Going to, this tense, it can also be used in the past, okay? If you think about the verb to be, you can use it in the past. So, I don't know, I could say, that's an interesting example. Like if I say, I was going to cook dinner, but then I went to the restaurant. I don't know. So I was going to cook dinner, but then I went to the restaurant. So what I'm saying here is that I wanted to cook dinner, then something happened and I'm not cooking dinner anymore. Okay, I'm going to the restaurant instead. And in order to give this idea, what I do is using going to, but with the verb to be in the past. I was going to, you were going to cook dinner. Okay, I was going to have a pizza, but then I got a burger, hamburger. Yes. Yes, it's a way of expressing something in an intention in the past, really. It's still futuro intenzionale. You still wanted to express an intention you had in the past of something that, for one reason or the other, it just didn't happen. And when you think about it in Italian, I'm just giving you tricks because I really know a lot of people that translate from the heads from Italian into English. You translated with la locuzione stavo per. Ok, stavo per cucinare, avevo intenzione di cucinare, ma poi sono andata al ristorante. Ok, so I was going to cook, I was going to, or I don't know, I was going to go jogging, but then it started to rain. So I didn't go jogging in the end. The result is always the same. At the end of this sentence, you didn't do what you were supposed to do or what you wanted to do before this thing happened. So yes, that's it. That's everything you need to know about the form, the future form with going to, really. As you notice, it's not too complicated, as long as the construction, it's a bit, you need to remember, I am going to do homework. I don't know, it's a bit long. But once you learn and you practice it, it comes quite natural, it comes quite okay. I think that it might be a bit, maybe you might experience some struggle when it comes to choosing what kind of future form to use when. In case you do have this difficulty, just write me and I can write a post or make another free English class, really, as you prefer. By the way, if you go on the BBC website, they have a lot of resources for people who are learning English, and I will post in the comments. There's also a nice video about going to with a little quiz, and you know I love quizzes, so yes. So, going to remember to sum up, to wrap up this lesson, because I see there are no other questions, so I think we can just wrap up. Subject, the verb to be, positive or negative form. Sorry, let's see what you guys are writing. Everybody are going. I'm going to go on holidays. Remember, you need to repeat the go. So everybody is going to go on holiday. Yes. Subject, verb to be, going, infinitive. Verb to be, negative form, affirmative form, the past, in the present, depends on what you want to say. Okay. Questions, you inverted the order of the subject and the verb to be. Are you going to go on holiday? You use it especially in two cases. First, when you make a deduction of something that is very likely to happen. There are black clouds, it's going to be raining. Second case, you use it when you're planning to do something. Yes, since we're speaking about holidays, I'm going to go on holidays to Sardinia. I don't know. Okay. Be aware of the contraction. He's gonna go to Sardinia. Yo. Yes, it's a bit colloquial, but yes, feel free to use it if you are speaking at the pub or with, you know, whoever your friends. But please do not use it in working context or during an exam or some kind of formal moments. Yes. Good. I think that's it for today's class. It was the last class before summer. Yes, well, before summer, it's already summer, but yes, before summer holidays, so to speak. So I wish you lovely holidays. I hope you can relax and enjoy yourself. And then we will start with our free contents again from autumn. By the way, autumn, British English, fall, American English. Yeah, so we will start again with our free contents in autumn or fall, whatever you prefer. If you have some contents you would like me to explain to you, or you would especially like to deal with, just write me and I will put up a class and prepare it for you, of course. Good. Thank you for everything and enjoy the weekend as well as the summer.